For the last 2 weeks, I've been sick-ish. I've picked up a chest infection to what I'm coughing up to what only can be described as something that came out of the alien's nose in Alien 2. A big green 3D shit. And it's causing a lot of breathing problems at the minute, and it's, of course, you'd imagine, affecting training. Which brings on to the topic. Is it okay to train when you're sick? Now, there'll be two schools of thought and two schools of people on this one. There'll be the people that just train and exercise to stay moderately healthy, don't really enjoy it too much, just do it because it's necessary. Those people, when they're sick, will probably take the time off. And then there's the right-hand side of people, freaks like myself, that we enjoy training, it's a passion, and we want to train, even when we're sick. So, is it okay, or can you, or what's the common thought process around training when you're sick? Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a dickhead. But I'm a dickhead that has been doing this for long enough, with in and out of having a good immune system going into a really shit immune system. I'll explain soon why. I can kind of give my 2 cents on the practicalities behind it and more or less the science and what it says. So, a quick explanation. So, it used to be my immune system, I'd say, was pretty good. It was pretty good. Until I have 2 small children, a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. And as much parents will know, when they go to nursery or daycare, they will pick up like little rats every fucking plague and virus going, and they will bring it back to you while they have probably drooled or spat on your food at some point with runny noses, and they'll go down you. And then the next morning you wake up and you go, my fucking throat's fucking killing me, I can't fucking breathe. And they'll cry to get up. Well, that's what's happening to me now. So every month or every 2 months, I'm getting hit with shit. And my immune system used to be pretty good. But I imagine now it's not good enough to deal with the force of, let's say, 30 toddlers and what they've combined up, you know. It's worse than the Wuhan labs. So the idea of training when you're sick, I guess the first question is, should you be? It depends. So what I would say is, if you have a cold, sometimes that's completely fine to train with. You know, especially sort of light exercise, maybe an encouragement of volume exercise or a little bit of cardio. While you can't sweat a cold out, I don't know where that myth came from. It's just like the idea of, you know, if you get soaked, you get a cold. You can certainly feel a lot better, and it certainly tries to allow you to fight against the virus through the sort of positive endorphins that training will occur. So you could probably get away with training with a stuffy nose and it'll be fine. And I've done it for years. But then there's the flip side, where you could have a chest infection or something like a flu symptoms. And that's when training becomes very difficult. Now, I've been doing it for the last week and a half, and I've never been as close in my life to puking in the public bin, or just gasping for air, or having coughing fits, which is embarrassing. Which I shouldn't really be passing the viruses to the gym, but COVID's over, and like I said, I'm a dickhead. So, what would you do then? Well, it's the way you train. So, if you're doing very light volume work and you're not training to failure, you should be good. In fact, you could probably get away with it. But if you're still progressing on lifts that are really hitting your central nervous system, I'm talking big hitters where you're doing a heavy 6 to 10 rep range, or maybe like a very heavy deadlift, you have to remember that movements like that and intensity like that is temporarily, it's hitting your central nervous system massively. And an effect, causal effect to that, it's temporarily shutting down or opening up your immune system, which is allowing essentially more of the virus strain you have to sort of fester and grow and get in. So that's where the detriments come in. You can actually prolong a sickness and make it much worse training intensely, and maybe altogether doing any form of weight training. But you could probably get away with it with more lighter blood work. You know, as long as you're not creating any serious stress in the body, you should be fine. But would I recommend it? Well, I think it builds a character set knowing that you have the passion and intensity and discipline that you still want to train during sickness. And I think even trying is probably good for the mind and the soul, because if you can still go to the gym even when you're kind of feeling shitty and you don't want to, God knows where that's going to carry on later on. You know, when you maybe do want to do a serious diet, you should have the balls and the discipline and the motivation to actually do that after you're staying on track regardless of any obstacle around you. But again, would it be recommended? For some of you, sometimes the sickness for intense trainers, it can be led on from constantly overtraining. And what happens is your immune system again is being lowered and these virus strains are coming in. That would probably be a good time to make an excuse. If you've been training for 10 weeks straight, say 11 weeks straight, and you are feeling run down, maybe this is the kind of the wink sign of your body to go, time to rest, buddy. Time to take a week off. A recovery week, come back with a drop back week, and go back on again. Whereas on the Verp side, you could be someone that just casually trains, maybe goes in the cardio machine, walks for 10 minutes, and does every machine there and just light. Then in that occasion, I would say still preferably take the time off, because that's what's going to allow you to essentially gather your surroundings, go, okay, I can't feel shit, but in your mind go, okay, but when I'm not feeling shit on that day, if it's Monday or Tuesday, I'm back in and I'm back in hard. So that's my 2 cents on training when I'm sick. It can be detrimental. It can make the virus strain, the sickness, much worse. But on the other flip side of that, if it's a light sickness, and if you alter your training to not as heavy and alter it so it's less intense, you could get away with it. So anyway, it's my 2 cents on the matter. If you find it useful, like and follow. We're in a winter period at the minute, so there's going to be a lot of sickness. So just don't feel hard on yourself. If you need to take the week off, you need to take days off, just roll with it. But certainly if you feel like you want to do something, just go for a fucking walk. It doesn't require a subscription, it's free. Thanks.